This is an EWTN bookmark brief. I'm Doug Keck. Just had the great pleasure of speaking with Ralph Martin about his latest book, A Church in Crisis, Pathways Forward, published by Emmaus Road, available through the EWTN religious catalog, EWTNRC.com, all things Catholic. Tell us, Ralph, why you decided at this point in time in history to write this book.
Because there's just a lot of confusion and consternation going on right now amongst a lot of very good Catholics who are saying, I don't understand what's going on. Why is this not happening? Why is this happening? What's going on in Rome? You know, what's with the Pachamama statue? What's with bishops and cardinals kind of contradicting each other? So I just really felt like if we could really clearly and honestly identify the depths of the problem that we're facing, people could kind of feel like, okay, I got a handle on this. And if we could then sort of affirm the truths of the faith in a really clear and compelling way, people would be in a much better situation for dealing with the confusion. The first 6 chapters of the book lay out the problems. The last 7 chapters talk about pathways forward. And so I think the combination of both parts of the book, I think, really put people in a really good position for saying, okay, I understand what's going on. Jesus Christ is still Lord. I'm going to go on and live as an active Catholic and with confidence in Jesus.
Can you give us one of the keys in your mind in the first part in understanding why there's so much confusion?
Well, I think people are losing their confidence in the clarity of church teaching because of ambiguity that's not being sort of addressed. And I think they're also starting to wonder about some of the things that people are saying about the reliability of sacred scripture. You know, we had the head of the Jesuits saying, hey, how do we really know what Jesus said? You know, were you there with a tape recorder? And this is going to just kind of completely undermine people's confidence. So that's why in chapter 2, I say, is there a solid place to stand? And I say, there sure is. And I try to help people recover their confidence in scripture, tradition, and the teaching of the church.
Another important item you bring up in the book is the idea that seems to be out there that basically all of us figure, well, we're basically good people and we're all going to be saved, which is a nice thought. But so what's wrong with that, and how does that have a negative impact on the church?
Yeah, well, you know, when somebody called Jesus good, Jesus said, don't call any man good. You know, compared to the goodness of God, no man is good. And so we got to really recognize that we're in a situation where we need the help of the Lord to actually become good, you know, and that's one thing that's really true. But the problem with the kind of universalism or the assumption that everybody's going to be saved is that it's just not what God tells us. It's not what Scripture tells us. It's not what the church teaches. It's not what the Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches. You know, Jesus said very, very clearly, broad and wide is the way that leads to destruction, and lots of people head that way. Narrow is the door that leads to life, difficult the road, and few there are who are finding it. And this is not an isolated text, you know, and there's just dozens and dozens of texts like this in the Gospels and the Epistles and the Book of Revelation. It's there in the Catechism of the Catholic Church. So we're just foolish if we don't pay attention to what Jesus clearly teaches us about the broad way and the narrow way. We're just being fools.
Right, and what's great, as Mother Evangelical would say, you got to hold on to the Mother Church and hold on to the faith, and don't be fooled or allow your ears to be itched too much. This is Ralph Martin, A Church in Crisis, Pathways Forward, Emmaus Road, available through our EWTN religious catalog, EWTNRC.com. Of course, a book worth checking out. Look for the entire interview on demand and on our YouTube channel as well. This has been an EWTN Bookmark Brief. I'm Doug Keck. We appreciate you stopping by. See you next time.